morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to Daily Dose from California. Let's discuss my shirt, could we please? My blouse. This was my grandma's. I'm wearing a skirt that was my grandma's. It's incredibly beautiful, but I feel very awkward in it. I feel like I'm wearing a hair cutting thing, and also like I look a little Quakery, Amishy.
I never got that impression. I thought it was quite lovely.
It's really beautiful, and I do not think I can wear it. So if you have a thought on this blouse, please, from the 1950s, I'd love for you to weigh it. It's so beautiful. It buttons, I'm not going to show you, it buttons down the back, but I don't think it's for me. Sorry, Grandma. Okay, anyway, here we are in California at a conference called Secret Knock, and we don't know one single thing about it. In fact, the only reason we even kind of know when it starts is because I connected to someone a couple weeks ago who I found out was coming through LinkedIn. So we don't know what we're walking into. How do you feel about that?
I'm feeling a very open mind. It might be something that's incredibly useful. It might be incredibly useful professionally for both of us. It might have something to do with how we move on with daily dose. Or there is a small chance it could be a complete disaster, but then we can hide in our room until it's over.
No, if it's a complete disaster, we'll go back to San Diego and we'll spend time there before we go back to Los Angeles to see Quinn. So, yeah, it's an interesting thing. And I guess here's one of the pieces of what's interesting about it from my perspective. You never could have done this thing of great uncertainty when you were drinking, because you had to have so much. What you thought of was control.
Yeah.
And I never would have done this when Maz was drinking, because I wouldn't have had any idea how he would respond, and I just would never, ever, ever have put us in this situation, because it was too unknown. The unknowns were too great. If it's a bust, we'll just walk out here.
Yeah. If it's a bust, it's a bust.
Yeah.
I've got my free really bad hotel coffee. There's a plus.
Mm-hmm. I don't even have any tea yet. That's how early it is here. You know, we're 2 hours different. So I think there is something really powerful about just being okay with uncertainty. Walking into something you don't know about and not needing something to bolster your discomfort.
It's very true. It is one of the first things like we addressed in rehab, because you do, like you said. I mean, I would have had, not even knowing I was doing it, I would have had to have found a liquor store and then found that.
Well, luckily we're in a casino. There's
And
plenty of
if
liquor,
I'd waited to get here, the first thing we got asked when we walked in the door was, "You don't have any alcohol on you, do you?"
Yep.
I would have thought, "Whoa, what does that mean?" And I just thought, "Okay."
Oh, it's true. You would have absolutely panicked, because you absolutely would have had some on you.
Yeah.
Because, as you know, Maz didn't really drink in public. So he would not have said to me, "Let's go down to the bar and I'll get a whiskey sour," which was often what he drank.
Now, I can't talk, this seems a bit selfish, isn't it? Just talk for me, but for me,
How
just
dare you.
just being able to do that. If this next 2 days is a complete disaster, the fact that I could deal with that and just say, "Yeah, I don't, and it's great," that's good for me.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll talk about this later when we're back in a more regular space. We had an incredible brunch on Saturday with 2 men who are in the recovery sphere. That's the word I want to use, not rehab. Recovery space.
That's good, actually.
Yeah, and we connected with them through LinkedIn as well. But what a fascinating
Yes,
conversation.
yeah, absolutely.
One of them got sober from a number of kinds of addictions, a couple of decades ago, and one of them is around the same time as Maz. And neither one of them uses AA for various reasons. And so we've just had some really really rich conversation around that notion of in AA, if Maz were drinking now, he'd have to go back and start again at his 24-hour shift. And this idea of in no other realm is one mistake, does it take you all the way back to zero? Think about a math test. If you take a math test that's worth 100 points and you get one question wrong, you might get a 98 or a 99. You don't get a 0. And so that was just really, really interesting.
It was very interesting because I never thought of it.
No, because AA is all you know.
Yeah, and because it worked for me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even question it because it wonderfully worked.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, it doesn't work for everyone, I know that. The success rate you can't gauge because of the second A in AA. It's very hard to collect data to see how well this does with them.
Yeah. And in an era where data is king,
Yeah.
it's a funny thing to continue on that way. Okay, I'm very sad. Well, it's not totally time for us to wrap up, so I guess someone could still weigh in. But could we please discuss my blouse? Sandy, I can't believe you're missing this. You would have an opinion on this. It's so beautiful. You can't really see. Let me move forward a little so you can see some details. See? I mean, it's really lovely, but it is really, really not me. Is high neck? I don't know. I have a beautiful picture of my grandma in this. Probably from the 40s, actually, now that I think about it. Because it was before she was married. Yeah, I don't know. I'm feeling very awkward in it. And when you feel awkward in your clothes, your anxiety goes up. And then, in my case, I don't need to drink, but in my case, I get super acerbic and sarcastic because my discomfort comes out in that way. So, I'm not sure it's worth it to risk that with a whole room of new people.
I would change if I feel better. On the flip side, here's something I'd like to talk about probably next week. I've just walked through my very first United States casino.
Have you been in other casinos?
No. Well, no, they're nothing like this at all.
Yeah, they're disgusting, I think. I find a lot of sadness in
casino
casinos.
in Europe is just, it's kind of like more of a James Bond thing where you just play the games on the tables.
Oh.
This
was just slot machine after slot machine after slot machine.
And then lunch tables with slot machines, and then there's some card tables. And a bar.
I mean, those games would be other places, we just didn't see them. But, yeah, there's a reason it's an addiction. I don't like casinos at all. But, whatever, nobody asked me. So, the hotel room is nice.
It is.
And Thursday, I think, will be a pre-record. Unless we meet somebody who wants to come on and join us in the next couple of days. We had someone coming lined up, and it fell through. He's going to join us later. But I expect it'll be a pre-record, but I will let you know that before Thursday at 8:30 your time, right now 6:30 our time. We're going to go. I'm going to change my top, my blouse, and we will let you know.
Change before we get downstairs.
We'll let you know how it goes. Have an excellent week. We'll see you soon.
See you soon. Bye.
Bye.